Hey, live. Hey, Steve, how's everybody doing today? It is 4:40, 8:24 for those of you that are time stamping. Yeah, I haven't made a video in a few days, a week or so. I've been working on my boat. Went out yesterday and wind was so damn bad. I think it was bad on the lake. So be careful if you want to go out to the lake. Make sure you check wind warnings because it was pretty windy out there, 5 to 15 miles an hour gusts, and I guarantee you it was close to 15 the whole time I was out there. Anyway, let's get right to it. Um, for those of you following my page, or if you don't, I posted the Angelina County Commissioners meeting. It was on this meeting was on the 28th of last month. Yeah, on last month, and I've been noticing a trend in the commissioners meetings. As you know, I don't attend the commissioners meeting because fact is that sometimes I just can't bear it. I just like, but the other reason is because I get to watch them being that what was taped, and I get to analyze what was being said. If you're there in person, sometimes things get you don't catch things or whatever. But for the last two commissioners meetings, here is what concerns me. And if you're a resident of Angelina County, this should concern you too. Um, as we know, we have been browbeaten, and it has been subject of almost every commissioner's meeting. You can damn sure bet that every time a commissioner's meeting goes, you're going to have an agenda item which is for the airport, or you're going to have an item which has to do with our expansion of our jail, and you're going to have just basically they're taking bids, or they're not, you're not supposed to say bids, you're supposed to say proposals or whatever. The reason why they use that word is because the fact is if they use the word bids, that actually is that portrays that you haven't made a decision yet. This is why the correction and the word, Judge Keith Wright, he actually uh, brought that out, and I heard that. But here's my pet peeve that I have here. Um, Whenever you go to a commission, or you go to a commissioner's meeting and you want to speak on an agenda, you sign up, and I'll give you. I don't want to, but anyway, this is the process. You sign up, and you're going to speak on a certain item. They make you write down which item that you're going to speak on, and they have the right to refuse if they want to. But for to keep the people from Angelina County going nuts, and when you can't let us speak or whatever, they allot 3 minutes, which is time for you to go up, address your concerns or your support for an agenda item. And like I said, you get 3 minutes. Well, here's what I've noticed in the last couple of meetings. There was a representative from the airport, and he got up and was allotted 15 minutes to speak on an agenda item, suit and tie and everything. But he was able to speak 15 minutes, and nobody said a damn word. Nobody said that he had 3 minutes. And I'll guarantee you, if you're up there and you're at 2 minutes and 59 seconds, they're going to actually tell you sit the hell down. They actually have a timer that goes off after 3 minutes. They set the timer when you come up there. So they said they didn't set this. They didn't set the timer on this individual. He was allowed to speak as long as he wanted to, for 15 minutes. No interruptions. No one telling him that what your 3 minutes are up. None of that. On the 28th, I witnessed the same thing. Our sheriff Tom Selman gets up and has another lengthy. I didn't time it out, but I know it was at least 12 minutes the last time I checked. He got up and was proposing, turned the podium around, and the commissioners were behind there. So he was directly addressing the public in a commissioners meeting, telling us why we should consider the jail, how so good it was for us, the whole 9 yards or whatever. Okay, you're a proponent of the jail. We get it. Why are you wasting our time with a public service announcement on commissioner's time? If you wish to issue a public service announcement, or if you wish to address this subject, there are many outlets that you could actually go to. Lufkin Daily News, social media. You could actually ask a reporter to come in, and you could actually sit down and talk to them about the jail, answer questions about the jail or whatever. But no, we had to go through 12 minutes of them telling us why the jail was important, promising us that the added space was not going to hit us economically, not that the added space was that it was going to pay for itself, blah 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 blah. Now we're basing this opinion of it's going to pay for itself on thin air. We don't have any proof of that. They say they're going to bust in other inmates from other jails while they're waiting trial. So that's supposed to pay for it. So in other words, the counties that actually ship their inmates here, they're going to have to pay us. I think it's $35 a day per inmate, and if they bus in somebody from another county, it's $75. They receive $75. The county will receive $75. You see where I'm going with that? Now, this is all in conjunction with, we have had to dip into in 2023, at least twice that I know of, we have had to reach into our general fund and make up for the shortage of our jail. I just couldn't balance their books. So we're already behind. They're using this to catch up, and there's no guarantee that it will. We have no written contracts by any other counties that they're going to be sending us any per se per month, so we can actually get an estimate on how many people are we looking at that we're going to be housing at $75 a day, and let the citizens decide, okay, is this cost effective, this is not. The gentleman, I believe he's the head. I don't remember his name, and I'm sorry, but he's the head of the Republican Party, very active in the Republican Party, and I see him there in the meeting all the time. And he got up and he addressed the court, and the reason why he basically stated, and you can watch the video, and I don't want to quote him, but anyway, he's basically saying fiscal responsibility. Can you show me how this is financially beneficial for Angelina County? Is basically what his question was. And basically he was asking this question: can you show me on paper how much money that you are going to raise for adding these extra beds, so we can make sense of it as a county, or whether it makes sense or not? None of that was discussed. We're going off of hearsay from other counties saying, well, yeah, we'll send you what, but no number, no many amount of month, no water, no matter. So there's nothing to compare. You're just saying we're going off of thin air and saying, well, they're going to send us enough inmates to cover the cost. Okay, let's go back to this. Show me. Okay. And residents, we all have to do that. We ask nice. Why? How come? Who said so? Show me. Those things need to be answered by our commissioners, because the fact is, then it's going to make sense to us. This is the actual disconnect that we have between the commissioner's office and the county. The county individuals, basically, all of us civilians out there, we're actually asking, show me. Don't just tell me, show me. We trusted you on roads. Now we're asking you to show us, because we learned our damn lesson. So what we're saying is that we're walking into a hole because of the unknown. We do not know how much money we're going to generate from the jail. It's all hearsay. Now, the point was brought up that we're housing, we're overcrowded, we're housing, individuals are having to sleep on the floor, these things. Let me be honest with you, okay? The games that are played by individuals who are in jail, by gang members, by organizations or whatever, they're in jail, and they're actually in the street, but they actually go into jail too. You are designated to whether you get a bed or not. Some individuals who have higher priority or have higher authority or in the jail system, they get 2 bunks and nobody questions it. This is actually monitored by our deputies or our guards that are in there. They should be able to go in there and say everybody get a bunk. But no, it's not even regulated. So in other words, that figure of people that are sleeping on the floor doesn't really generate the attitude and the actual activity inside those pods, and actually who's who gets to do this or whatever. Guards don't get involved in that. They just throw you in there, and it's like, okay, fine, y'all work it out. So, but then whenever Sheriff Salmon goes to, well, there's people sleeping on the floor. Well, why? Well, because the fact is that, you know what, you got activity inside that pod that you don't want, that you're not monitoring, and basically the inmates are running the pod. So that's just a fact on that. Now, I also have to bring up the point is that, okay, we're creating additional jail space. Okay. Well, and it was brought up by Sheriff Selman that, what is for morale issues for our police officers, for our sheriff's officers, for all these, it's for morale issue. And when they lock them up, and, then they feel like they've done their job. Okay, this is the overreach that I'm talking about. Okay, if you are a police officer in law enforcement, okay, here is your job. You are to protect and you are to serve. So if you witness or you are called out on a crime and you actually go and you have reasonable suspicion of this individual committing a crime, then what you do is you arrest him and you take him to jail. You fill out a report. You take him to jail. You turn in your report. That's it. It's the law. You shouldn't be concerned about when he's going to jail, how he's going to jail, what he's being charged with. All that is out of your league, bro. All that is out of your league. That is up to the justice system. Okay? That's not your job. Your job is to go out and arrest individuals who are wrongdoers, who are doing wrong, or have been, that you reasonably suspect to be doing wrong, and go through the proper procedure. After you release them over to the county, you're done. You can go wipe your hands and say, yeah, that's your job. That's how you feel. That's how you feel proud of yourself. That's how you get your morale from. If you're worried about the justice system and you're worried about who you arrested and who's going to do this, and who's going to get time, or who's going to get suspension, who's going to get PR bonds, if you're worried about all that, you got too much time on your hands. And then we go back to the fact is that if you're monitoring so closely these individuals who are in jail that you've arrested, and you're monitoring that, what you're doing is that you're actually keeping track on, I got him. Yeah, I got him. Show him. To make you feel good. It's not your job. There's certain things that you're out of your lane on. The justice system is there. You turn the Sun Guns over to the Angelina County Jail, and the justice system will deal with it. The job is done. We're going to bigger and better things. This also brings up the fact is that we're actually making a determination on our county jail that we have a population, and we have so many people in the jail. Well, we have had the Justice Department, our district attorney, every judge will attest to the fact is that they can't keep up with the amount of people we're putting in jail now. They can't process them through the justice system fast enough. So is it that expansion of the jail? Is that the answer? Well, no, because we're just going to back up again. Well, we can take these guys will get jail dates quicker if they're from out of county. We don't know that. So the issue is that, are we robbing Peter to pay Paul? For example, each judge, uh, Judge Enzelman and Judge Cassaw, in their courtroom, they have one case a month. That's what they allot themselves for, one case a month. Now, that's 12 per judge. So, in other words, on an annual basis, then we're looking at 24 cases or 24 trials. Now, Sheriff Selman says, well, they're releasing them on PR bond. We'll release them as fast as they get in. We'll release them on whatever. And that's not the case. You got to keep people in there 2 or 3 years waiting for justice. And creating a bigger jail is going to solve that. That's not. You're throwing a Band-Aid at the problem. We have a new district attorney coming in, and based on what I've heard, and I haven't had a lot of people just don't talk to me, but I listen. I'm like that guy in the room. Um, One of the individuals who I know pretty well said, "Ben, you're a Sigma male. You know, but really, I'm not. I'm very vocal, outstanding. But whenever I get into a public situation, I'm like, okay, you can learn a lot more by listening and watching than you can by actually talking. I have to learn that lesson. I have to remind myself of that. But the fact is that the district attorney has stated that he's going to go in and clear up all that mess. He's going to go in and start clearing up all these cases that have been there for 2 to 5 years, that no action's been taken. And a lot of these cases, they don't even realize the statute of limitations is up and they can't proceed with charges. Statute of limitations starts from the time you're arrested to the time you go to court or your trial. That's it. It doesn't stop because you had a hearing. It doesn't. No, statute of limitations goes from the time you arrested to the time you go to trial. That's it. Once you actually go to trial, or whatever decisions you agree to on a plea deal, stops then. So we have a problem with our justice system being able to process as many cases as that we have. So if the sheriff's department and these deputies and law enforcement, they want to really point the finger at somebody and say, well, our morale suffers because the fact is there's nothing happening to these people in jail. It's not the community's fault. It's our justice system. We had 983 felony cases that are yet to go to jail. And we're going to do them once a month for 24 a year. That's what we're going to do. So people are not getting justice. Well, I hate to be the first one to tell you, you're innocent until proven guilty. And if they can't process you fast enough, then you have to get out on bond. Because the fact is that it's your right. You have a right to a speedy trial. Everybody, even though Luann Tatum states that there's no speedy trial in Texas. That's a lawyer saying that. So the issue always goes back to our justice system. They have created a problem that not only affects the community, they also starting to affect law enforcement, which their morale, everything, because the fact is that the justice system takes too long to get these individuals out of it. You arrest a guy 2 years ago, he's still waiting in jail. You know, why are you keeping up with it in the first place? You know, I don't get that. But the fact is that, you know what? They're going to sit in jail for 2 years, year and a half, 2 years before they even get a hearing. They'll be in jail for 6 months before the attorney even talks to them. So we have a problem with our justice system, not jail space. We brag. They brag. Sheriff someone bragged about how many people he's got locked up and that he's protecting the community and all this or whatever. Well, yeah. But the fact is that it doesn't matter how many people you lock up. There's still going to be people committing crimes. So what do? Do we have a police state to where, you know, we just throw them in jail and that's their punishment? and forego the punishment that the court issues or a jury decides. I just don't get that part. But it's also mentioned by the individuals that actually were supporting the airport, and this happened last meeting, not the 28th, not the last meeting, but I believe the meeting before that. Go back and look at your Angelina at the go to Angelina County Commissioner's Court, and then so you can actually view, or you can view the items, or you can actually listen to it. It's actually live on TV or whatever, and you have a chance to look at it and say, what did you just say? Rewind that, or whatever. So the airport and the jail, they're being allotted more time, but admittedly, the individuals from the airports, well, we've met privately with all the commissioners. Really? You did? Okay. Let me ask you a question. How many under the table deals have we witnessed, or do we suspect, or do we know that has happened underneath the table behind closed doors? We don't even know what the hell he's negotiating. How much cut is the county getting for expanding the airport? Everyone I talk to says, well, it's a moneymaker. It's a moneymaker. Okay. For who? Because the fact is that, okay, have you ever counted how many flights come in and out of Angelina County Airport? That would be essential to you realizing, do we need a bigger airport or not? Because the fact is that we got too many flights coming in here. We got to extend airports so we can actually have more flights coming in or whatever, but that's not the case. The case is the fact that they sell fuel and they don't want to get rid of that income. So they're going to play the game and say, we're going to build a bigger airport. It's going to be bigger, better, faster. We're going to make more money off of that. From home. I don't know about you, but when's the last time you flew out of the county airport? I mean, it's not something you do. I know there's a lot of people that say, no, I can drive down to Houston. I don't have to worry about a flight where I got to pay $150 on just for me to puddle hop from here to freaking Houston. So it doesn't make any sense to me. And the expansion of the jail doesn't make any sense to me because the numbers don't add up. And they can't produce to me any documentation that will even estimate how much money we will gain per month or per year by this jail expansion. Fiscal responsibility, like the gentleman today said, pay attention to fiscal responsibility because we're taking out a loan. We don't even know what interest rate is on this. We don't even know if it comes due and payable. We don't even know the terms of the loan or terms of the deal. And we are supposed to sign off of that as citizens. Why? Because 15 minutes we were told the benefits of the jail and the airport in a public forum where you and I only get to speak 3 minutes. We were told at 2 minutes and 50 seconds, you need to wrap it up. Time's up. How can you possibly even attempt to negate all these facts that were, well, not facts, but anyway, all these points that were brought up in a 15-minute long presentation with 3 minutes? Of course it's going to come out in their favor because we don't know the actual numbers, and we don't know, and this is the problem we have with Angelina County. I've said it over and over and over again, is what we don't know and what they keep hidden and what they will not release. Last thing, I have been in contact. I have where I'm at on the death in the county jail. I have actually alerted. Let's see. I made a report to the DOJ. I put in a report and a request for documentation to try to get that video for public view. And also the fact is that I've actually reached out to as many people as I can, and I'm still sending out information because we're questioning. Here's what we're questioning. We're not questioning about so much the procedures per se. because the fact is that we want to know if those procedures are being followed. When there's a death in a jail and you're in custody of county officials, it has to be explained entirely. If your autopsy report comes back and it was an accident, inquiring minds want to know, what was the accident? Show us what the accident was. Now, Sheriff Selma's defense is the fact is that HR 30 was retroactive. That you can't go past the September 1st timeline or whatever. You know, okay. Well, then explain to me Uvalde. Explain to me how they got it in 2 years. Explain it to me how it took 2 years for Nacogdoches to release their video, where a DA fails to take action, even though the guy was drugged up and went into convulsions 15 minutes later. They're not guilty of anything. If you look at the procedures that are set down by the state of Texas for jails, personnel, and county jails, every jail, there is a method to every madness. There is the state of Texas has addressed every situation on how you treat inmates, all the way down to the use of restraints, all the way down to everything. They put it down line by line by line by line. The steps you have to follow. We don't even know who the personnel was, the medical personnel was there. We ask. We can't get that information from the county. They won't release it. Now, these individuals are in contract with the county, so that makes their records of any individual who was on county duty at that time. Who was on duty? Who was on duty? Why haven't anybody been disposed? Why is nobody questioning the individuals who are actually there? How come nobody's actually interviewing the trustees who were there? I've gone through all this or whatever, but anyway, it just bugs the crap out of me because this has a potential to blow up, and I don't believe the county realizes how big of a lawsuit the Smallwoods won't. The Smallwoods said they didn't want to see the video. They don't. Selma just off to tell me I'm not releasing that video. Well, because the family. Okay, I understand the family's concern. However, the fact is that we as a public need to see if the proper procedures were being followed and how the accident happened and what was the accident. Because with full transparency of that, then you and I can make a determination. We need to put more money into the jails. We need more training. These individuals need to be trained. They need to be instructed. There ought to be a period of instruction. What is the classes they must attend to remain a sheriff, to remain a guard? We need to see that in action. And I don't know about you, for the whole 9 yards of Angelina County, I don't believe what they tell me anymore. And it is vital that the public just keep asking questions. There's a reason why none of the commissioners will stay after the meeting and talk to you. There's a reason why the Lufkin Daily News will not run stories of this nature. There's a reason why Mr. Fournette is always reported on about his case, but however, we can't even report what the commissioners' meeting say. We don't even know, per the Lufkin Daily News, what is going on in our commissioners' court. There's no government oversight, or there's no government reporter. I don't think it's hard to figure out that there's an agreement, some type of agreement between the Lufkin Daily News and the commissioners. And I'll say this because the fact is that I've run into this. I remember when Steve Bass was there, there were some reporters that were there. And the turnover rate of Lufkin Daily News is it's astounding. And the reason why is because the fact is that when you go to work there, you realize that you can't do any actual reporting. If you try to do actual reporting, you're not there long. You can't go out and interview the public. You can't go out and there's certain things you can't report on because the commissioners have their foot over the throat of the Lufkin Daily News. And here's the reason why they do that, because every time it comes up and they want to print a story or whatever, no, if you file that, we're going to file a lawsuit. The county does. So that's where you get that story from, and that's where it all generates from, because the fact is our local daily news is biased. And hell, it might as well be, it might as well be, I think that would be considered, damn, almost like control the press. What's the name? You just control the press. I mean, that's not, yeah. That reminds me of some countries where, socialism and communism, and that's what they do. They control the press, they control the media, they control everything because they control information. And this is why social media is very important, because the fact is that we get to actually speak as adults do. We need to speak as we can ask questions. I can put in and request information. I can get information. Then whatever information I get, I can share it with you. If it don't apply, let it fly. But it's a good gauge of where the county is and how our government works, our judicial system works. All these individual departments that we pay for, it may not be anything to you, but it might help somebody else down the road if the same thing's happening to you. You get somebody else saying, you know what, that happened to me too. That happened to me too. That happened to me too. This is the best. This is the best forms of communication in Angelina County is the word of mouth. That's it. Because we were born and raised to where we would get together at a Sunday afternoon after church. We get together and we talk about politics. We talk about this. We talk about what we want to do things. We talk about these things or whatever, because that is our only form of communication, because we can't get anything from our government. So all we can do is speculate. And this is where the problem comes in, because now we're speculating because we can't get any information out and they won't give us any information. So you know what? We start trying to put the pieces together as a puzzle, and then we come up with our own shit. Could be true, couldn't be. A lot of people got a good head on their shoulders, and like, I can figure it out. But they have to be advised. They have to let somebody else know, hey, this is going on with me. When the people start talking together, then you can identify a problem, and then we can address fixing it. The public is the greatest oversight that government has. The public is the greatest oversight that a government has. I'm sorry, did I say it wrong? The people, I said that wrong. The people are the biggest oversight of our government. We voted to put them in there. We, from time to time, have to check and see if they're doing their job, if they're serving our best interest. The whole entire county, not just certain individuals. So this is the basis of this. This is the basis of the reason why I got on today, because I'm noticing that the rules are different for certain different people or whatever, and it needs to be pointed out that we, the people, are aware of what is going on. We can see it, and we're starting to put it together. And I hope this election that we start to change these tactics and these things that are used against us as a county. And I hope that we can actually get some people in there that will understand from a public standpoint how their perception of government is and change that perception. Okay, I'm done. I'm at 30-something minutes. I didn't mean to talk that long, but anyway, once I get started, I can't finish. Anyway, we've got some important days coming up. Check with We the Watchdogs. They actually have dates and times of political events. Well, I think that on the 12th at 6 o'clock at the Pfizer Convention Center, you're going to get a chance to meet and greet the people that are running. I think I heard a rumor that Trent Ashby is going to be there. One of the questions that burning on my mind is why did he support Biden's the bill that he put in. He's the Border Patrol bill or whatever. So I'm like, what are you doing, man? You're a Republican. So anyway, that's one of the questions I never will get a chance to ask it. But anyway, that's something that's on my mind. So, in conclusion, thank you guys. Appreciate if you watched it. If you found some points that maybe worth sharing to other individuals, please share. Matter of fact, you can just go to YouTube and you can put in because yeah, I know a lot of people don't want to be associated with me, so and they don't want to be on my page. They don't want to show that they're supporting the page. But hey, I get word that people are watching and listening, and they actually generates questions, and that's what it's all about. Ask why, how come, who said, show me. Those are things that all of us can. But you guys be good, be careful, keep powder dry. I'm out.